this job. For 20 years, I've owned my own restaurants. 20, I've opened 3 and 4 restaurants. So that's what I've done. But let me tell y'all a quick little thing that, kind of helped me out, and it'll help a few more people out that not paying attention to what God has to say. Um, I pondered with God and asked him question. I only started restaurants because I knew cooking would make money. And that's what I thought I was going to build a legacy for my kids. Well, this last year has been so stressful. And I tell you, really stressful on the restaurant business and stuff. And I was like, God, what is it? What is my purpose? Well, about a month ago, I seen a picture on Facebook with my cousin. She's in the organization. She took a picture with Senior Vice President Ajay Hungo. At first, I didn't know who she was. Well, her face stuck in my mind, and I was like, I wonder what they do. Well, let's skip on up. A week after that, I was so drugged down and over with my job. I mean, I've been doing restaurant. I was burnt out. Well, what happened was I actually drove, you guys. This is how bad it'll get if you don't listen to God and wait on him. I drove to a stop sign, and then it was August the 7th, to be exact. I drove to a stop sign, and I got out of my car, and I took off walking. I was through with life. I took off walking towards the overpass. My kids had to stop me. I almost jumped off the overpass in my town, committed suicide. Well, when they got me and they took me, I actually had to, and no, y'all, I'm not ashamed to tell this. This might help somebody come out of somewhere. They took me to DePaul. DePaul is a center here not too far from Waco, and it's for people that tried to commit suicide. And one thing that they kept asking me, I've always been a strong individual. I've always been the go-to person. I've always been the one that could listen to everybody else's problems and fix everybody else's thing and come through everybody else financially or anything, and I never had any time for myself. But while I was in there, the psychiatrist asked me, he said, well, Quita, I know that you have those restaurants and stuff, and do you really just like to cook? Is there anything else that you can do? And I thought about it. I said, it's a lot of stuff that I can do. I like to help people. I like to talk to people. And I always visioned myself being more professional and in a more business-like manner, helping people. I didn't want to slave in the kitchen and cook, even though I thought was making money. But what I just kept thinking about Ajaya, and I didn't know her. So I was in there, and after the psychiatrist left, I was like, okay, yeah, I might need to talk to her, but you got to still take in mind, I'm at that point that, I don't know. Well, God happened to send a little nurse in there, and we all know her, Jay, if you know her, she's small and petite, and there was a nurse that kind of reminded me of her, that kept my mind on her. And I was like, okay. So I did 3 days in there, which is phenomenal. And I came out and I said, when I get out, I'm going to find that lady, and I'm going to ask her what she does. I said, it's just something about her that God is saying, find her. So I got out, and when I got my phone, the first thing that I did, I went to her page. And like everybody else does, we go to people's pages and we start looking around and seeing stuff. And I seen everything on there was like, change your life and help others and this, that, and it was about credit and stuff. And I looked at all her pictures, and it just something so godly hit me. I said, you know what? The average person is myself. When I read a title, that's where we miss our blessings at. We'll read people's title and don't know how humble they really are. And I read a title and I was like, she's not going to inbox me back. I said, but I'm going to inbox her. So what I did was I inboxed her, and she inboxed me back. And I was like, no, that's not her. That's not her. Then we kept on talking. I said, yeah, that's her. That's her. So I called my cousin. I said, cousin, hey, you remember the lady that you took the picture with, Jay? She said, yeah. Oh, yeah, she's amazing. Man, she's rocking this and that, and I was like, she said, come on, join the team. I said, I really want to. I said, do you think she'll take me? And she was like, yeah, get back. That is her. And so I talked to her, and it was such a relief that I did. I actually joined that day. But this is the kicker, y'all. I'm still battling, trying to, join and what are we gonna do? I'm gonna keep the restaurant. This last seminar that I went to in Dallas that we had, it made so much sense to me, And I'm going to tell you, when they was talking about faith, I think it's Miss Aisha. I don't want to say her name wrong, but she was talking about faith and how she didn't like where she was at, and it wasn't the people, it was just that. And when Ajaya said a system, we're making it this far because we have a system. God said right then and there to me, your restaurant doesn't have a system. You haven't had a system in 20 years. You've been going in circles, beating yourself up. You were on your way to death. He said, I sent you somebody. I sent you somebody. And I was like, she not going. And I'm telling you, the next day I came, I closed my business. I've been in business for 20 years. I closed the door. I tell nobody. I closed the door, and I want to do this full time, and that's what I'm dedicated to. And I am so thankful. When I say I'm so thankful that I'm still here, I'm so thankful that God didn't let me jump off of that overpass, because I would never have this testimony of where you can be burnt out and you can help somebody else and love to do what you're doing. I love it. I love it already, and I've just started, but this is what I've been yearning for. Had I known back in 2014 when you guys started, I would have been gone. So I'm just saying this to tell anybody on the line or anybody listening to watch, just step out on faith, trust God, because it's going to work out. Anything, I dedicated so many years to something that I just thought that I had to do just to make money. And it was hard and laborious. The work that we're doing, we're helping people. So when you help someone, God gives you the strength to help them. It don't become laborsome or tiresome. It becomes a healthy habit for you. Like you get a health kick out of helping someone else, to see a smile on someone else's face. And that's one thing that I love about my senior vice president, Ajay. She's so humble. I mean, so humble and so helpful and always there. I've never in my life could talk to someone and I would be doing business with them and doing hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would always have to talk to an assistant or anything. She talks to you herself. She is available. There's nothing like someone available for you that's sitting there, that's been where you at and still humble enough to recognize exactly where you are. So I tell anybody, and I'm going to cut this short because I know we got more to get back to the meeting, and I'm eager to hear the rest of it. But you guys, y'all hang in there. And if you had any doubts or feel like you can't make it, baby, trust me, you can make it. You can make it. I had a clear vision. Stay with your team. It takes a team. It takes a team. It takes a system, and it takes what we got right here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm like everybody else. I'm gonna see y'all at the top, and we're gonna see some more people at the top. God bless y'all.